Hello, beautiful VIP eyes, or very important petite insiders, and welcome to the webinar. Today, we're discussing the 5 surefire ways to manage your goals for success. This is my first training of the year, and I'm so excited to be here with you. I have an actionable training scheduled for today, and by the end of today's training, you will have at least one of your goals mapped out and ready to take action on. So who's ready to get started? Let's jump right in, shall we? So first of all, you're in the right place if you've tried setting and achieving goals on your own and it just didn't work. You got caught up in the New Year's resolution hype only to burn out by February or sooner. So I want you to let you know that it doesn't matter if they didn't work. If what you've done hasn't worked so far, I have something to help you. So before we get into the bulk of the training, let me introduce myself to you who have no idea who I am. And for those of you who do, maybe you'll learn something new about me. My name is Monica Petit, not Pettit, as many like to pronounce it. Monica Petit. I am the creator of the Petite Steps to Success system. I work with individuals who have a vision but lack direction and performance skills and need help figuring out where to start. Through my proprietary PSTS system, I'm here to shake up your approach to strategic planning, goal setting, getting things done, and knowing exactly where to start, while making it all feel completely guilt-free. I'm also a mother. That's my handsome little prince there, Giorgio. And I'm also a multi-passionate individual. I love to travel, and one of the ways I'm able to do so is that I am an in-flight mentor to flight attendants at a major airline here in Denver. That's what they call my day job. So why should you listen to me? Well, here's a little bit of my business background. So I started my first business, Lady of Decorum Event Services, back in 2008 with a newborn baby in one arm and a business plan in the other. The business was featured in major news publications within a week of the doors opening. So needless to say, that business took off right from the beginning, and it's still very profitable and busy today. At the same time, I launched LOD. My hubby and I opened our first restaurant, Mamma Mia Trattoria, as you see there, which led to many more articles, publications, television spots, and much more success. It was during that time that I learned the power of the internet marketing, and social media. So that led me to open my first online venture. In about 2014, I opened my first internet business concept and was able to form major relationships with mentors like Melissa Moniz and worked with visionaries like Tiffany Lanier, but we'll get to that soon. So that leads me to today's training. So here's what you'll get for staying on today's training. If you think I don't know how valuable your time is, think again. In today's action-packed training, we'll go over a sequential way to create goals and chunk them, the 5 steps you must take to chunk them successfully, how to work from your goals, not on them, and then how to get out of that New Year's resolution mindset and instead learn a new approach. Also, if you stay into the end, I'll give you a section of the Vision Planner PDF that I personally use to plan my days, plan out my life plan, and I also give to my mentees as well. Special treat from inside the PSTS Masterclass, so please stay to the end to receive that. So now that we've gotten all the housekeeping done, let's get into a very interesting and sad statistic. 75% of individuals who set New Year's resolutions made it past the first week. So each year we sit down around November and December, we write in our new journal the things we want to do and achieve for the upcoming year, right? We have high hopes, we have great motivation, and we have high expectations. We focus on self-improvement and education, weight loss, of course, money, relationships, and business. But statistics have shown that only 75% of individuals who set New Year's resolutions made it past the first week. 7% made it to 2 weeks, and 65% made it past the month. So a staggering 46% made it past 6 months. Number one, that's sad. And number two, you don't want to be a part of that statistic, as I know you don't. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this call today. So if you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's. Guess what they have planned for you? Not much. So there's 2 words in this quote that I want you to pay attention to, and that's why I accentuated them. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's. So the 2 distinct words there that you need to pay attention to and keep throughout your mind in this training is life plan. So you may be thinking, okay, Monica, we know a little bit about your business. We know that you have a handsome little son. But how did you arrive at this point? So I'm going to tell you. So back in 2008, when I was opening Lady of Decorum, it came about in kind of a roundabout way. I was actually laid off while I was on maternity leave with my son during that time. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I called my employer at the time to ask him if I could come back on a part-time basis just in the beginning because, as a new mom, you want to spend as much time with your children as you can. And I wanted to see if that was a possibility. And the response I got was completely left of what I thought I would hear from him. He said, "Monica, unfortunately, we will no longer need your services." And I had been employed with this company for almost 3.5 years at that point. I was comfortable. My husband and I were where we needed to be, and this was devastating to us. I could have done one of two things. I could have given in and just went and found another job or gone into depression, or I could have taken what I'd known and create something that I'd always wanted to create. And that's just what I did. I had my notebook in one arm, as I said before, and I had my newborn little Giorgio in the other arm, and I was making notes and writing everything I could think of about a concept that I had envisioned actually years before. So lo and behold, a couple weeks later, I go through all my notes and type through everything, and obviously I'd created a business plan. And so I launched this business the best way I knew how. I got myself a logo, put together a little website, established, all the little elements that I needed the basic elements to set this project forward. And I got a call from a reporter from the Denver Post. And she said she heard about my business, which I thought was strange because I hadn't launched yet. All of the groundwork I was doing by submitting myself to various websites and social media sites, she'd somehow seen me around. And so she conducted an interview on me, and I thought it was just going to be, a small mention in the spotlight section of the Denver Post, of the inside and out portion of the Denver Post. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was waiting on the couch with Giorgio in my lap. My husband Mario went out to grab the newspaper that Saturday morning, and he came back with, I think, 10 copies of this newspaper. He walked in the door and I couldn't understand why he was crying. I mean, I was emotional too. This was fantastic to set a goal in motion and then see it come to fruition. But he walked in the house and he was crying. And so he sat down next to me, he sat the newspaper in front of me, and he began to take out the inside out section. And lo and behold, there was a huge headline that said, "Party? No problem." And I realized at that moment that my business was just featured in the Denver Post on not only a 1-page spread, but a 2-page spread. I was on the cover, you opened it up, and there, boom, was my story. And so that solidified something in me. It taught me that I could do things, and that when you set your mind to something and you have a big enough why, then you can make it happen for yourself. So fast forward to 2012, between those times had gotten another position. I maintained my company, which became more seasonal work as I learned. As the business grew, I learned that it became more seasonal. And so I picked up employment. You have to make sure you have insurance and things to take care of your family. My husband with his new restaurant, I was helping him with that. So I had my hand in a lot of pots. I was doing a lot of things in addition to taking care of my son, but that's just how I am. I'm multi-passionate and I'm able to manage it. But fast forward to 2012, I was laid off again from this other position, which didn't hurt it as much because I didn't care so much about the job. But unfortunately, I think just the series of being laid off twice triggered an onset of depression in me. And I started to question my self-worth and, thinking to myself, those mindset questions like, well, why me? And that was a really low time for me. I just, the self-worth and self-confidence was low. I had accomplished so much in my new business, which was my second baby. But then here, these employers were not valuing what I was bringing to the table. So it triggered a little depression in me. But then I heard my grandma in the back of my head saying, "Girl, you better get up and keep moving." So it triggered growth in me also. So I started to think, what can I do? I still have my business. I'm still making a little bit of income from it. My husband's restaurant is still doing well. What can I do? Instead of moping and continuing to be depressed, I went to the first place I knew to go to. So I headed to Barnes and Noble. I was going through the books shelves and trying to figure out which book I wanted to read. I had every intention of going there to purchase a notebook and a journal so I could journal, what was going on, but I didn't go there with the intention of purchasing this book. I purchased a book and it was called The One Thing. It completely changed me. And instead of this journey being about depression and self-loathing and self-worth and questioning why me, it became a journey about growth. I realized that maybe I'm just not employable in this way anymore. So I began a journey in discovering what I truly wanted and discovering how to get it. And that's what triggered the Petite Steps to Success system. That's what everything that I learned during this time, the Petite Steps to Success system encompasses. So from that point forward, I concentrated on who I am, where I wanted to go, and that determined what I did and what I accomplished. But don't get me wrong, of course I was scared. I was embarrassed and my ego was beat up. I thought about just, applying for another job. But something in me said, no, Monica, don't do it. I started thinking about the resources I had available to me at that time. I could claim unemployment, and I knew I had a little bit of a check coming in to help out with the bills, and I knew that I would still be able to help my husband with his business and also maintain my own. So I claimed unemployment, and I took the next 6 months to get clear, to create a plan, and to follow that plan. And that's just what I did. And along the way, I met some incredibly forward-thinking, visionary people who helped me, whether they realize it or not. I got mentored by business mentor Melissa Moniz, who's incredible, out of Canada. And I worked with visionaries like Tiffany Lanier, who made me realize that I am now in better company. I was with my people. But the thing is, if I didn't take the time necessary to get clear about what I wanted and create a plan to follow it, I never would have known what I wanted. So you have to think about what it is that you want. When I went through this process, I inadvertently created this program, the Petite Steps to Success. And step by step, I went through exactly what I needed to do to get towards my dreams and my goals and to make my vision a reality. So when you think about that, your purpose is what you want. It's your dream, your desire. But if you're not clear on that, your productivity goes to shit. You start spinning your wheels and shiny object syndrome creeps up on you, and every shiny object looks great, doesn't it? Thing is, it's not leading you towards your objective. So our purpose sets our priority, and our priority determines the productivity our actions produce. As I said before, that book that I picked up, The One Thing, sparked so much in me that I still have within me today. So after learning that, my whole anti-resolution revolution began. Viva la revolution, as my son says. Everything I learned was put into a system to help individuals that are in the same spot that I was in then. So now that you know a bit more about my why and my story and about how this came about, let's jump right into the ways you can manage your goals for success. But let me make this small caveat before we continue. If you're still unclear on your purpose, your wants, your needs, or your desires, don't worry. Okay, so let's get into the 5 ways to manage your goals. So first of all, know your why. From there, I'm going to show you how to break down your objectives with the objectives pyramid, plan out your time, schedule your activities, and use tools to remind and keep you accountable. Know your why. So think of your why as the gasoline and your goal as the fire. When the two combine, there's an explosion. If you don't know Simon Sinek, the famous author of the book Start With Why, you should be reading that now. It's one of the books that I read on my journey, and it's fantastic. So you want that kind of energy behind your goals. You want to feel alive, energized, driven, and ready to take on the obstacles that are sure to come. You need to utilize that energy on the days when you just don't feel like working on your goals. So the key here is to attach your goal to a why that is so profound that it will nag at you if you try to neglect it. Think like a little boy, my little Giorgio there, sticking his tongue out. He's going to nag at you until you start taking action on whatever goal it is you're trying to achieve. Obviously, I placed him in there because he is my why, and he definitely does nag me when he's not getting the attention he needs. So if you have the gasoline with the fire, think of a nagging child as your goal. If you don't take care of it, it's going to continue to poke at you until your attention is completely on him. From there, step 2, break down your objective. So the 3 main categories I suggest are break them down into project, single task, and recurring task. Do this and you're sure to avoid overwhelm, which is the killer of most goals. So this may sound like a no-brainer, but unfortunately, many miss the importance of this step. So for example, if you are trying to, maintain your weight and have clear skin, you may want to set a morning ritual and an evening ritual. And the activities within the morning ritual and the evening ritual could be things like wash my face at a certain time, have a mask, drink water before bed, and listen to music while you have your mask on your face in order to reduce stress. So let's say you're doing health and wellness and that's something you want to work on and you want to have clear skin. Those are some activities that you could put under the recurring task category. And then from there, you do the next step. But think about it this way. If there are tasks that you can break down that are recurring, and then you can start to structure them into your day so that it becomes a part of your day and it's not something that you need to work on. And this is where working from your goals comes into play and not on them. So in Manage Your Time, Manage Your Work, Manage Yourself by Merrill and Douglas, the objective pyramid is introduced, and it gives the reader a very clear structure as to how your objectives should be broken down for success. The objectives pyramid is then the structure of how you can break those objectives. So in the example here, I'm going to show you how this works. With the objectives pyramid, you break your goals down into 6 categories. So your long-term vision, what that looks like annually, what that looks like quarterly, how that looks monthly, how that looks weekly, and how that looks daily. And you can even go further. I mean, if you really want to go crazy with it, you can. If the goal can be structured that way, then you can definitely break it down further. But this is the basis of the objectives pyramid. And you can see that the bulk is on the bottom, your long term. It's something that you see in the future, so 5, 10, 20, even 30 years down the road. Annually, what your expectation is for achievement by the end of this year. Quarterly, what you will achieve by the end of every 3 months. Monthly, every 30 days. Weekly, every 7 days. And then of course daily. So in the example here, to earn $5,000 a month starting February 1st of this year. So her long-term goal or annual goal is to acquire $55,000 by the end of the year. Now let me just say that long-term and then annual can change because she didn't have a 10-year goal for the future. She just wanted to earn an additional $5,000 a month. So that comes out to $55,000 for the year. When she broke it down quarterly, you can see that that turns into $15,000 a quarter. Monthly turns into $5,000, weekly $1,250, and then daily $167. So once you have this information, you can start thinking about what you need to do in order to get to $167 a day. So let's say she wants to sell t-shirts, for example. She wants to sell t-shirts at $30 a pop. She knows that she needs to divide that number by 167 a day, and that'll take her to how much she needs to sell per day. So that goes into profit planning, which is in another program, but this shows you how to break it down so that you can start getting actionable daily and you have no questions what you need to achieve for the day, the week, the month, the year. And this also shows you the actionable steps you can take now, not what you need to do in the future, but what you need to do now. So if you know that you have to make 3 sales in order to get to your estimated profit for the day, you know exactly what you need to be working on. So that in turn pushes you away from shiny object syndrome. It prevents you from being distracted, and it also takes away the big killer, procrastination. So after you've established your objectives pyramid and broken down your goals, it's time to plan out your time. So after getting clear on the big picture destination and your objectives, it's time to take action. This is when it becomes actionable. This is action time, okay? The only way to take action is to plan out your time, because we all know procrastination starts kicking in. You start to get unmotivated when you don't know what you should work on, or you simply get distracted. So what do I mean by plan out your time exactly? Let me give you an example. Monday morning, you are let's say getting ready for school, work, getting the kids ready off to school. Let's say you have a day off and you are planning on working on your business the whole day. You get the kids to school, you get back home, you sit down in front of your computer, you have an idea to work on something in your business, but you're not quite sure what. And so you sit there, let's say you have Microsoft Word open, your PowerPoint, and you sit there to type and you're frozen, paralyzed, don't know where to go, how to go, where to go, anything. You're just stuck. This is why it's crucial to have a plan for your time, because if you have the time available, then you need to use it wisely. I know a lot of people say work smarter, not harder. This applies. So planning out your time minimizes the effect of distractions because you know exactly what needs to be done. So if there's one thing I want you to write down on your notes right now, planning is deciding what to do. So when you're planning out your time, here's a couple of foundational areas you should think about. You should choose one day of the week to have a planning session where you can plan out your entire week. I'm serious about this. I couldn't think of the word. I am religiously planning at 8 p.m. on Sunday nights because I know if I don't get that time in to get everything laid out, 6 o'clock Monday morning, I'm done. Because there's just too much going on between having another business, between having a child that has his own activities, a husband that has his activities. You know, there's a lot going on. And unfortunately, you can't control which distractions are going to pop in and disrupt your day. So if you can at least mediate the things that you know you need to get done ahead of time, then, you leave room for distractions. So choose one day of the week to have a planning session and plan out your entire week. During your planning session, brain dump everything you need to accomplish for the week ahead first. Once you have your task and your activities dumped, just put a small little note of an estimation of the amount of time it's going to take to complete each one. And this is important because it goes into the next step, so don't skip this one. Then from there, order each task on a scale from 1 to 4, 4 being the least pressing, 1 being the highest priority. And just because 4 is the least pressing doesn't mean it doesn't need to get done, because it does. It's just on a scale from 1 to 4, 1 needs to get done first because it's higher priority. From there, fill in your daily plan each day, the night before if possible. If you're an early bird and can do it at 4 or 5 in the morning, by all means do what's best for you. I typically plan out the next day the night before. It's a part of my evening ritual. So after I get my son into the bath, get my face washed, drink my glass of water, do a little bit of reading, then I sit down and I plan out my day for the next day. After that, it's simple for some. It's not simple, and that's why we're here today. The next step, it's probably the hardest. We're all good at planning, but taking action is where it all starts. So once you have all this laid out, follow your plan. And again, this is how you work from your goals, not on them. This is how it becomes a part of you, a part of your day, a part of your psyche. It's top of mind. So eventually, as habits do, it starts to become second nature. So if we look at step 4, this is where the activities begin. So you have broken down your objectives after you've established your why. You've used the objectives pyramid to get clear and chunk down your goals so that they're more actionable in your mind. You've planned out your time. Now it's time to schedule your activities. So now that you know what needs to be done throughout the week, it's time to take action and do the work needed to complete it. So when planning out your time, as I said before, you are deciding what to do, right? So scheduling your activities is deciding when to do it. So when scheduling your activity, follow these general rules of thumb. Plug in your fixed items first or your non-negotiable. So that includes items like appointments, meetings, any family activities that can't be rescheduled, travel. Plug in the highest priority items, which are time sensitive first. So for example, let's say you're hosting a webinar for your business in a week and you need to create slides. They need to be edited, finalized. That's a high priority item. Those are items that can't be done the morning before. Something can go wrong, you can get distracted, anything could happen. From there, leave room for the unexpected. So family emergencies, travel time, even fun time. You know, I am a basketball fan. I love my Denver Nuggets. I don't care what anyone says. Those are my boys. And so if I have an evening scheduled of doing work on my business, which typically I do, I work at night, I work in the morning, but there are evenings where I am scheduled to be working on Lady of Decorum and MonicaPetite.com. I'm scheduled, okay? And I stick to my schedule. But there's occurrences where Giorgio wants to play, even though his hour block was not the time that I scheduled. He wants to play during my work time. Or my husband gets tickets for the Nuggets. That's something Mama's not saying no to. That's something Mama is going. So the unexpected at times is, you know, it can be a fun activity as well. So leave room in there. Like, you don't have to be the schedule Nazi. Everything doesn't have to be 100% by the book, by the hour, by the minute, by the second. You can still give yourself room to have a life, but schedule in those priority items for your life and also for your business and any other activities that are pertinent to your growth and that are important to you, because they are important and they should be on your schedule. Because if it's not scheduled, then it's overlooked. So now that you know what needs to be done throughout the week, you take action by using the necessary tools you need to complete it and the necessary accountability necessary to keep you motivated. So I myself couldn't find the tools that I needed. So I created a daily vision plan, a weekly vision plan, and my daily activity sheet. And that's all within my vision planner. Now, for those of you that stay to the end, I'm going to give you a link that will take you to a download so you can get a copy of one or two of these. Let's go ahead and review quickly. So step 1, know your why. Step 2, break down your objective. Step 3, plan out your time. Step 4, schedule your activities. And step 5, utilize tools and accountability to keep you successful. So I want to ask you, so what would having a clear action plan do to improve the quality of your life? You've already spent a lot of time trying to figure things out on your own. Now is the time to get the guidance and clear direction you need to take your dreams and goals from vision to reality. Trust me on this. These simple steps today are not anywhere near the iceberg of actionable information that you'll receive inside the PSTS system. This is no theory. This is exactly what I did to create successful businesses and a successful lifestyle. To get featured in news publications, it's also what I used to become the in-flight mentor I am today in less than a year of employment with the airlines. That's unheard of. Only you know why you showed up today and have spent the time you spent today with me, which I appreciate. So whether you are unclear or in the dreaming stage or the somewhat planning stage, what is this all about for you? Are you looking for more money? Are you looking for growth? Are you looking to build a business? Are you looking to become less codependent? No matter your reasoning, I want you to know that I was once where you are, and the journey I took to build what I have built was not by accident. It came from struggle, depression, and hitting rock bottom. And as a result of that, I used it to create the tools, the skills, and the system that I built within the PSTS system. And it's something you can do too. You can be in the very same situation, living out your dreams in a short period of time. I gave myself 6 months, but truth be told, it happened sooner. So the obvious question is, how do I apply this to my life or business? So you can either do it slow, learn the hard lessons with trial and error, or you can learn from someone who has been where you are and use my full 6-step process. So the greater danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we miss it, but that it's too high and we hit it. Stop holding yourself back and stop allowing others to hold you back. I want you to aim high and hit it. Aim high with me inside the PSTS Masterclass, the VIP edition. Because I know that time is of the essence, I want to invite you to join me inside the Petite Steps to Success Masterclass VIP edition so that by the end of our time together, you will be ready to hit the ground running. So by joining me in the PSTS Masterclass VIP day, you'll get the following benefits. You'll be introduced to my novel 6-step system. So during our time together, you'll intimately learn the 6-step system to build your vision plan. You will also join our VP Collective and receive invaluable advice and guidance from myself and the other collective members. You'll also receive an action plan by the end of our time together. So by the end of our time, you'll be armed with a clear, personalized action plan, all wrapped in one beautiful book, your vision plan. Throughout our time together, you'll also receive support and guidance. And throughout the masterclass, you will have access to the VP Collective, your private mastermind group, as well as office hours with myself so that you can stay focused and motivated. Now, because this is a VIP day, we will be doing all of the program within the day, but your support and guidance will continue to follow through after our time together. With the Petite Steps to Success system, you can stop getting paralyzed by trying to figure out where to start. You can start to put the pieces together and know exactly which steps to take daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. And overall, you can avoid that shiny object syndrome. Start to build that legacy and empire that you desire. So in other words, it helps you turn this into this so that you can hit your goals right on the bullseye. So what does the PSTS Masterclass do for you? So first of all, it takes you through an actionable 6-step process. You all know that famous quote, "Those who don't plan, plan to fail." So when you follow the novel 6-step Petite Steps to Success system, each section will guide you through new activities and worksheets through topics such as visioning, goal setting, management, and ultimately helping you build your PSTS vision plan or life plan. It's going to help guide you to knowing exactly where to start. So gone are the days where you don't know where to work, what to work on. You can't seem to move the needle on your goals. In addition to utilizing your vision planner as a workbook, you will work one-on-one with myself so that we can get that personalized plan built. This masterclass also connects you with others in the VP Collective. You'll have access to our private mastermind group, the VP Collective, as well as the office hours with myself through that collective so that I can keep you motivated and focused. And this is something you'll have access to for a lifetime. It's not going to be taken away after you've completed your VIP day with me. So with that support, guidance, and accountability, you can meet with your collective. You'll have follow-ups with me after we complete our VIP day, and you'll also have guidance and support from me throughout the year. It's also going to reward you with some major bonuses. So in addition to walking you through the step-by-step 6-step process, you'll also receive my Confidence Builder workshop. Confidence is what shapes how we choose to show up in the world, right? So without it, we can stay stuck and unable to achieve our goals and our dreams. So this bonus will help you put the cherry on top of your cone. And this will be available to you after the VIP class. So what do some of my previous clients have to say? Working with Monica was a pleasure. Monica has so many fresh ideas that she seamlessly executes with enthusiasm and positivity. She genuinely cares about the client. Working with Monica was a pleasure and I would highly recommend her services. Sarah says, I would gladly work with her again in the future. Working with Monica was a joy. She responded quickly to any questions and really made us feel special. I would gladly work with her again in the future. And Linda says, in life, you never know where lightning can strike. Today, lightning did strike. Monica delved into my deepest thoughts about what I desire from my life and what it will take to accomplish it. She questioned my whys and helped me clearly see how I can achieve them. After the session, I collected my thoughts and then I realized something. I don't have an organized way of reaching my goals. Monica called me later in the day and told me that she had a system she created that helps me and others jumpstart their journey in life. I was very excited and thankful that she had taken the time to create a way to help me realize my dreams. So I'm very thankful for her creating her system and sharing it with me. Now I can start on my journey. So if you want a clear, actionable life plan without wasting your entire life trying to figure it out, there is no better system. This is exactly what I needed when I started. It could have saved me so much more money, stress, heartache, and of course, time. So get access now. Click the link below this video or head over to www.monicapetite.com/PSTS-VIP-day and let's get you registered so we can get you moving towards your dreams and making your vision a reality. We believe at monicapetite.com that when you take petite steps, you make big wins. So let's make some big wins in your life. I look forward to meeting you. Thank you for joining me today. And I look forward to having big wins with you this year.